Welcome to a night of magical storytelling, where enchanting dreams and soothing tales gently guide you to a peaceful slumber. Tonight, we travel to the kingdom of Arcadia, a land of rolling hills and shimmering lakes. Let the tranquility of this beautiful realm wash over you as you close your eyes and prepare for a journey into wonder. Princess Seraphina, with her golden hair and sparkling emerald eyes, is about to discover a gift that will change her life forever. On her 16th birthday, she receives a mysterious golden feather quill that holds the promise of adventure and magic. As Seraphina begins to write with this quill, she finds herself transported to places of breathtaking beauty and enchantment. Imagine yourself in her shoes, feeling the soft glow of moonlight as you hold the magical quill. Picture the words flowing effortlessly, creating vivid scenes of mystical lands and forgotten legends. With each stroke of the quill, the line between dreams and reality blurs, and you find yourself immersed in a world where anything is possible. As you listen to Seraphina's tale, let your mind drift and your body relax. Feel a gentle embrace of sleep as the story unfolds, carrying you to a place where dreams come alive and magic is real. Chapter 1: The Enchanted Discovery. In a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, a young princess named Seraphina celebrated her 16th birthday. Her golden hair cascaded down her back like a waterfall of sunlight, and her emerald eyes sparkled with curiosity and intelligence. The castle was abuzz with festivities, with musicians playing joyous tunes and the scent of freshly baked pastries wafting through the air. Among the many gifts she received, one stood out: a delicate box wrapped in iridescent paper and tied with a silk ribbon. It was unlike any other present, its beauty and craftsmanship suggesting that it came from a distant land. Seraphina's slender fingers untied the ribbon and lifted the lid, revealing a magnificent golden feather quill nestled on a bed of velvet. The quill was exquisite, its golden plumes shimmering as if kissed by the morning sun. Seraphina felt a strange connection to the quill, a sense of magic and possibility. As she held it in her hand, she noticed a small, intricately carved note tucked beneath it. The note read, "To the Princess Seraphina, may this quill guide you to adventures untold and dreams fulfilled. Yours in mystery, a friend." Intrigued and slightly bewildered, Seraphina tucked the note away. Who could have sent such a remarkable gift? She had many admirers, but none known for such enchanting tokens. Deciding to unravel the mystery later, she carried the quill to her private study, eager to test its prowess. As the moonlight spilled through the arched windows, Seraphina lit a candle and placed a blank parchment on her oak desk. She dipped the quill into a vial of midnight blue ink and paused, the air thick with anticipation. As soon as the quill touched the parchment, it seemed to come alive. guiding her hand with an invisible force. Words began to flow effortlessly, describing a land of towering mountains and enchanted forests, of mystical creatures and ancient prophecies. Seraphina wrote and wrote, the quill moving swiftly and surely, as if it had a mind of its own. The more she wrote, the more vivid the scenes became, until it felt as though she were living the story herself. When at last she finished, Seraphina leaned back and gazed at the tale she had created. It was unlike anything she had ever written before, so vibrant and full of life that it seemed to leap off the page. She felt a warm glow emanate from the quill, wrapping her in a comforting embrace. Exhausted but exhilarated, she decided to retire for the night. Her dreams filled with the wonders she had penned. The morning sun cast its golden rays upon Seraphina's room, waking her gently. She stretched and rubbed her eyes, the memory of the previous night flooding back. With renewed excitement, she hurried to her study, where the golden feather quill awaited. As she sat down, the quill seemed to shimmer in greeting. She picked it up and began to write again, this time focusing on her kingdom, a peaceful land ruled by her kind-hearted parents, King Alden and Queen Elara. The quill danced across the page, depicting scenes of royal banquets, village fairs, and the serene beauty of the countryside. To her amazement, the quill did more than just write. It illustrated the scenes with intricate detail. The words seemed to glow, forming images that were almost tangible. Seraphina could feel the breeze from the rolling hills and hear the laughter from the village square. It was as if the quill was not merely a writing instrument, but a portal to another world. Curiosity piqued, Seraphina decided to experiment further. She wrote a short story about a secret garden hidden within the castle grounds, a place of unparalleled beauty and tranquility. As the final word was inscribed, a gentle breeze ruffled her hair, carrying the scent of blooming flowers. Seraphina blinked in surprise. The scent was so real, so vivid. She stood up and followed the breeze, her heart racing. The quill's magic seemed to be influencing her surroundings. Guided by an unseen force, she wandered through the castle until she found herself in a part she had never explored before. A small, overgrown door hidden behind a tapestry. With trembling hands, Seraphina pushed the door open. To her astonishment, she found herself standing in a garden, exactly like the one she had described. Flowers of every color imaginable bloomed in abundance, and a crystal-clear stream meandered through the lush greenery. The air was filled with the songs of birds and the gentle rustle of leaves. "This can't be real," Seraphina whispered to herself. Yet the garden was undeniably tangible. She spent hours exploring every nook and cranny, marveling at the beauty and magic of the place. It was as if her story had come to life, each detail perfectly replicated. Realizing the potential of the quill, Seraphina knew she had discovered something extraordinary. The quill's magic was powerful, capable of bringing her stories to life and guiding her to hidden wonders. But with such power came responsibility, and Seraphina felt a sense of duty to use it wisely. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the garden, Seraphina made her way back to her study. She felt a deep connection to the quill, a bond that went beyond mere possession. The quill had chosen her for a reason, and she was determined to uncover its secrets. The days that followed were filled with endless discovery. Seraphina spent every spare moment with the golden feather quill, writing tales of adventure, love, and mystery. Each story she wrote seemed to possess a life of its own, as if the quill were a conduit for the magic that flowed from her imagination. One evening, she decided to write a story about a distant land called Eldoria, a place of ancient magic and forgotten legends. As the quill moved across the parchment, it painted a vivid picture of a realm filled with towering mountains, crystal-clear lakes, and dense forests teeming with mystical creatures. As she wrote the final sentence, a gentle breeze swirled around her, and the room began to blur. Colors and shapes merged into a kaleidoscope of light, and Seraphina felt herself being drawn into the very fabric of her story. When the light faded, she found herself standing at the edge of a vast forest, the air thick with the scent of pine and wildflowers. Seraphina looked around in awe. The world she had written about had come to life before her eyes. The forest stretched out endlessly, its trees towering above her like ancient sentinels. The leaves rustled softly in the breeze, and the distant call of a bird echoed through the air. Realizing that she was truly in Eldoria, Seraphina felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension. She clutched the quill tightly, its warmth a comforting presence. She knew she had to explore this new world and uncover its secrets. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she marveled at the sights and sounds around her. Strange and beautiful flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, and curious animals peered at her from behind trees and bushes. Each step she took was guided by the quill, which seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. After hours of wandering, Seraphina came upon a clearing bathed in golden sunlight. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient stone circle, its weathered surface covered in intricate carvings. The air around the stones seemed to hum with power, and Seraphina felt a deep sense of reverence. Approaching the stones, she noticed a faint glow emanating from the center of the circle. As she stepped closer, she saw a pedestal with a crystal orb resting upon it. The orb shimmered with a soft, ethereal light, casting a gentle glow over the clearing. Seraphina reached out to touch the orb, and as her fingers brushed its surface, a vision filled her mind. She saw a grand adventure unfolding before her, a quest to restore balance to Eldoria and uncover the ancient secrets hidden within its lands. The vision was so vivid and compelling that she knew she had to follow it. The quill had not only brought her story to life, but had also set her on a path of destiny. With a renewed determination, Seraphina took the crystal orb and placed it in her satchel. She knew that her journey had only just begun, and that the quill would guide her through the challenges and wonders that lay ahead. Seraphina stood at the edge of the ancient stone circle, the crystal orb safely tucked in her satchel. The quill nestled beside it seemed to pulse with excitement, as if urging her to continue her journey. She took a deep breath, her resolve firm. She would follow the path set before her, trusting in the quill's magic and her own courage. As she ventured deeper into the forest, the landscape began to change. The trees grew taller and more twisted, their branches forming intricate patterns against the sky. The air grew cooler, and a mist began to rise from the ground, shrouding the forest in an ethereal glow. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Seraphina felt a sense of calm. The quill's guidance was a constant presence, its magic a beacon in the unknown. She followed a narrow path that wound through the trees, each step taking her further from the familiar and closer to the heart of Eldoria. After several hours of walking, she came upon a glistening lake, its surface as smooth as glass. The water reflected the sky above, creating a mirror image that seemed to stretch into infinity. At the lake's edge, Seraphina noticed a small, ornate boat tethered to a wooden dock. The quill pulsed gently, guiding her toward the boat. She untied it and climbed in, the boat rocking gently beneath her. As soon as she settled, the boat began to move, gliding effortlessly across the lake's surface. The water was so clear that she could see the fish swimming below, their scales shimmering in the sunlight. The boat carried her to the far side of the lake, where a grand castle loomed in the distance. Its towers reached toward the sky, their tips disappearing into the clouds. The castle's walls were covered in ivy, giving it an air of ancient mystery. As the boat docked at the castle's entrance, Seraphina felt a sense of awe and anticipation. She stepped out of the boat and approached the castle gates, which creaked open as she neared. The quill's magic seemed to flow through her, guiding her steps. She entered the castle, its grand halls echoing with her footsteps. Tapestries depicting scenes of great battles and legendary heroes adorned the walls, and the air was filled with the scent of old parchment and polished wood. In the center of the main hall, she found a grand staircase leading to the upper levels. The quill pulsed with urgency, urging her to climb. As she ascended the stairs, she felt a growing sense of purpose. She was on the brink of discovering something extraordinary, something that would change her life forever. At the top of the stairs, she found a large, ornate door. She pushed it open and entered a grand library its shelves filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. In the center of the room stood a large wooden desk, and behind it, a figure cloaked in shadows. The figure stepped forward, revealing an elderly man with kind eyes and a wise smile. He introduced himself as Alaric, the castle's keeper and guardian of Eldoria's secrets. He explained that the Quill had brought her to this place for a reason, and that her journey was part of a greater destiny. Alaric shared stories of Eldoria's history, of its magic and mysteries, and of the prophecy that foretold the arrival of a princess who would restore balance to the land. Seraphina listened intently, her heart swelling with determination. She knew that her adventure was only just beginning, and that the Quill would guide her through the trials and triumphs that lay ahead. As dawn broke over Eldoria, Seraphina prepared to continue her journey. Alaric had given her a map of the land, marking key locations that would guide her quest. The first destination was the Talking Forest, a place where the trees whispered secrets and ancient wisdom to those who could listen. With the golden feather quill safely tucked in her satchel, Seraphina set off, the map clutched in her hand. The path to the Talking Forest was long and winding, but the quill's magic provided a sense of direction and purpose. She walked through verdant meadows and crossed sparkling streams, each step bringing her closer to her destination. By midday, she reached the edge of the forest. The trees here were ancient and tall, their branches interwoven to create a canopy that filtered the sunlight into a soft green glow. As she entered the forest, she felt a profound sense of peace and wonder. The air was filled with the scent of pine and earth, and the gentle rustle of leaves created a soothing melody. Seraphina paused, listening intently. At first, she heard nothing but the sounds of the forest, but as she stood still, the whispers began. They were faint at first, like the rustling of leaves in a gentle breeze, but gradually they grew clearer. The trees were speaking, their voices a harmonious blend of ancient wisdom and gentle guidance. She walked deeper into the forest, following the whispers. The trees spoke of forgotten legends and hidden treasures, of trials and triumphs. They told her of the balance that needed to be restored to Eldoria and the role she was destined to play. Seraphina listened with rapt attention, absorbing the knowledge and wisdom they shared. As she ventured further, she encountered a magnificent oak tree, its trunk wide and sturdy, its branches stretching high into the sky. The oak's voice was deep and resonant, filled with authority and kindness. It welcomed her and offered its guidance, recognizing her as the princess destined to fulfill the prophecy. "The quill you carry is a powerful tool," the oak intoned. "It can bring your stories to life and guide you on your journey. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Use the quill wisely, and it will help you restore balance to our land." Seraphina thanked the oak and promised to heed its advice. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The forest had bestowed its wisdom upon her, and she was ready to face the challenges ahead. Before she left, the oak tree gifted her a small, intricately carved wooden pendant. This will help you communicate with the forest no matter where you are, it said. Seraphina accepted the gift gratefully, feeling a deep connection to the forest and its inhabitants. With the pendant around her neck and the quill in her satchel, Seraphina continued her journey. The forest whispered its farewell, its voices fading into the distance as she walked towards her next destination, the village of forgotten dreams. She knew that her adventure was far from over, and that many more trials and discoveries awaited her. Seraphina left the talking forest, feeling both enlightened and empowered by the wisdom it had shared. The path to the village of forgotten dreams was marked on her map, and she followed it with a sense of anticipation. The village was known for its tragic history. Once a vibrant community of dreamers and storytellers, it had fallen into a mysterious slumber, its inhabitants plagued by forgotten memories and lost creativity. As she approached the village, the atmosphere grew heavy with a sense of melancholy. The houses, though quaint and charming, were in disrepair, their paint faded and their windows shuttered. The streets were eerily silent, and a thick fog enveloped the entire village, muffling sound and obscuring vision. Seraphina walked through the deserted streets, her heart aching for the villagers who had lost their dreams. She knew that the golden feather quill held the key to restoring their memories and rekindling their creativity. With a deep breath, she took out the quill and began to write, her words flowing with compassion and hope. As she wrote, a soft glow emanated from the quill, casting a warm light over the village. The fog began to lift, and a gentle breeze carried her words through the streets. Slowly, the villagers emerged from their homes, drawn by the quill's magic. Their faces, once blank and expressionless, began to show signs of life and curiosity. Seraphina continued to write, weaving tales of joy and inspiration. She wrote about a time when the village was filled with laughter and creativity, when stories and dreams flourished. The quill's magic infused her words with a powerful energy, bringing the stories to life. One by one, the villagers' memories began to return. They remembered their dreams and passions, their talents and aspirations. The village came alive with the sounds of music and laughter, as the villagers embraced their renewed creativity. They thanked Seraphina for her kindness, their eyes filled with gratitude and hope. Among the villagers was an elderly woman named Elara, who had once been the village's most beloved storyteller. She approached Seraphina with a smile and said, "Thank you, dear princess. You have given us back our dreams. The quill you carry is truly magical. and it has brought light to our darkest days. Elara then led Seraphina to the village's central square, where a beautiful fountain stood. The fountain had been dry for many years, a symbol of the village's lost dreams. But as Seraphina approached, the Quill's glow intensified, and the fountain sprang to life, its waters sparkling in the sunlight. The villagers gathered around the fountain, their faces radiant with joy. Elara handed Seraphina a small, ornate key. "This key opens the door to the village's library," she explained. "Within its walls are countless stories and dreams that have been forgotten. With your help, we can bring them back to life." Seraphina accepted the key, her heart swelling with purpose. She knew that her journey was not only about discovering the Quill's magic, but also about helping others find their own stories and dreams. She promised the villagers that she would continue to write, and that together they would restore the village to its former glory. As the sun set over the village of forgotten dreams, Seraphina felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The Quill had guided her to a place where her stories could make a difference, and she knew that her adventure was far from over. With the key to the library in hand, and the Quill's magic by her side, she was ready to face whatever challenges and wonders lay ahead. Chapter 2: Trials and Triumphs. The village of forgotten dreams had regained its vibrancy, but Seraphina's journey was far from complete. With the villagers' blessings and the golden feather Quill safely tucked in her satchel, she set her sights on her next quest, finding the lost treasure that was said to hold immense power. Alaric's map indicated its location deep within the heart of Eldoria, hidden in the ancient ruins of an old castle. Seraphina ventured forth with determination, traversing diverse landscapes, lush meadows, rugged mountains, and winding rivers. The Quill's guidance was unwavering, its magic subtly influencing the path she chose and the decisions she made. After days of travel, Seraphina arrived at the outskirts of the ruins. The castle, once grand and majestic, now lay in decay. Its walls were crumbled, and ivy crept over its stone, reclaiming the structure. As she approached, the air grew thick with anticipation. The ruins held secrets of a bygone era, and she felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The Quill pulsed in her satchel, urging her to move forward. She carefully made her way through the overgrown entrance, stepping into a courtyard filled with the echoes of history. The atmosphere was heavy with the scent of damp earth and ancient stone. Seraphina's heart raced as she ventured deeper into the castle, guided by an unseen force. In the castle's main hall, she discovered a series of intricate carvings on the walls. The images depicted scenes of warriors and wizards, of battles fought and victories won. At the center of the hall stood a grand pedestal, upon which lay a dusty old book. The Quill's magic urged her to open it, and she did so with reverence. The pages of the book revealed a riddle inscribed in elegant flowing script. To find the treasure lost to time, see the place where shadows rhyme. Where light and dark in balance play, the heart of stone will point the way. Seraphina pondered the riddle, its words echoing in her mind. The quill's gentle glow seemed to pulse with encouragement. She knew that the answer lay within the castle's depths. Taking a deep breath, she ventured further, her footsteps echoing in the silent halls. She reached a grand staircase that spiraled downward into darkness. The air grew colder as she descended, the shadows growing longer and more sinister. Yet the quill's magic provided comfort, its warmth a beacon in the encroaching gloom. At the bottom of the stairs, she found herself in a vast underground chamber. The room was filled with pillars, each casting long shadows that seemed to dance and intertwine. In the center of the chamber stood a massive stone heart, its surface polished and gleaming. Seraphina approached it, feeling the quill's magic guiding her. As she touched the stone heart, it began to glow, casting a brilliant light that illuminated the chamber. The shadows shifted and merged, forming a pathway that led to a hidden door at the far end of the room. With the quill in hand, Seraphina followed the path, her heart pounding with anticipation. The door opened into a smaller chamber where a treasure chest lay waiting. The chest was adorned with jewels and intricate carvings, its lock ancient and formidable. Seraphina took out the key she had received from Elara, the village's storyteller, and inserted it into the lock. With a satisfying click, the chest opened, revealing its contents. Inside, she found a collection of ancient artifacts, crystal orbs, golden coins, and a beautiful, ornate crown. But the most significant item was a small glowing gem, pulsing with a soft inner light. Seraphina knew that this was the true treasure, a source of immense power that could help restore balance to Eldoria. With the treasure in hand, she made her way back to the surface, the quill's magic illuminating her path. As she emerged from the ruins, the first light of dawn painted the sky with hues of pink and gold. Seraphina felt a deep sense of accomplishment, knowing that she had taken another step toward fulfilling her destiny. With the treasure safely secured, Seraphina continued her journey through Eldoria, guided by the quill's magic and the wisdom of Alaric's map. Her next destination was an ancient cave that held an enchanted mirror, an artifact known for its ability to reveal truths hidden from the eye. The path to the cave was fraught with challenges. Seraphina traversed dense forests, crossed roaring rivers, and scaled treacherous cliffs. The quill's subtle guidance ensured she never lost her way, its gentle pulsing a constant reassurance. After days of arduous travel, she arrived at the mouth of the cave. The entrance was framed by jagged rocks, and a cool, damp air wafted from within. Taking a deep breath, Seraphina entered, her steps echoing softly in the cavernous space. The quill's glow provided a comforting light, illuminating the rough-hewn walls adorned with ancient runes. The cave seemed to extend endlessly, winding deeper into the earth. As she ventured further, she felt a sense of foreboding mingled with curiosity. The air grew colder, and the shadows seemed to dance just beyond the reach of her light. Finally, she reached the heart of the cave, a vast chamber with a high vaulted ceiling. In the center stood the enchanted mirror, its surface shimmering like liquid silver. The frame was ornate, carved with intricate patterns that seemed to shift and change as she looked at them. Seraphina approached the mirror with reverence. She had heard tales of its power, how it could reveal one's deepest truths and innermost fears. The quill pulsed in her hand, urging her to gaze into the mirror's depths. She took a deep breath and stepped closer, her reflection becoming clearer. As she looked into the mirror, the surface rippled and images began to form. She saw herself as a young child, playing in the castle gardens, carefree and full of wonder. The scene shifted to her current self, standing bravely on her quest. Then, the mirror showed her a future vision, one where she stood as a wise and benevolent queen, her kingdom flourishing under her rule. But the mirror also revealed her fears and doubts. She saw moments of hesitation and uncertainty, times when she felt overwhelmed by the weight of her responsibilities. The mirror's revelations were both comforting and challenging, forcing her to confront her deepest self. Through the mirror, Seraphina realized that her journey was not just about finding the treasure or fulfilling a prophecy. It was also about understanding herself, embracing her strengths, and acknowledging her vulnerabilities. The quill's magic had brought her this far, but it was her own inner strength that would see her through the trials ahead. With newfound clarity, Seraphina reached out and touched the mirror's surface. The images faded, and the mirror's light grew brighter, filling the chamber with a warm, golden glow. She felt a surge of energy and confidence, knowing that she was on the right path. The mirror granted her a gift, a small crystal shard that seemed to pulse with the same light as the quill. It was a piece of the mirror's magic, a token of its power and wisdom. Seraphina carefully placed the shard in her satchel, feeling its warmth beside the glowing gem she had found in the treasure chest. As she left the cave, the morning sun greeted her, its rays piercing through the early mist. Seraphina felt a deep sense of peace and determination. The enchanted mirror had shown her the way forward, not just in her quest, but in her own heart. The revelations from the enchanted mirror gave Seraphina renewed confidence as she continued her quest. Her next challenge was to face a cunning sorcerer who guarded the path to the heart of Eldoria. This sorcerer was known for his intellect and trickery, posing riddles and puzzles that had confounded many who sought passage. Seraphina travelled for several days, guided by the Quill's magic. The landscape changed from lush forests to rocky terrain, the air growing cooler as she ascended into the mountains. The Quill's glow provided comfort and direction, its presence a constant reminder of her purpose. Eventually, she arrived at a towering stone gate carved into the side of a mountain. The gate was adorned with ancient runes and guarded by stone statues of mythical creatures. As she approached, the air shimmered, and a figure emerged, a tall man with piercing eyes and a cloak that seemed to flow like liquid shadow. "Welcome, Princess Seraphina," the sorcerer said, his voice echoing with a strange melodic cadence. "I am Zephyrus, guardian of this realm. To pass through these gates, you must prove your worth by solving my riddles." Seraphina met his gaze with calm determination. "I accept your challenge, Zephyrus. I am ready." The sorcerer smiled, a hint of admiration in his eyes. "Very well. Here is your first riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Seraphina pondered the riddle, the Quill's gentle glow encouraging her. After a moment of thought, she replied, "An echo." Zephyrus nodded approvingly. "Correct. Now for the second riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, and I can drown. What am I?" Again, Seraphina considered the riddle carefully. The answer came to her, clear and simple. "A fire." The sorcerer's smile widened. "Impressive. Here is the final riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?" This riddle took a bit longer for Seraphina to solve. She walked in circles, contemplating the nature of the answer. Then it struck her, the simplicity of it bringing a smile to her face. Footsteps. Zephyrus clapped his hands, the sound reverberating through the mountains. "You have answered correctly, Princess Seraphina. You possess both wisdom and courage. The gate is yours to pass." The stone gate groaned as it opened, revealing a path that led deeper into the mountains. Seraphina thanked Zephyrus and stepped through, feeling the Quill's magic guiding her onward. As she continued her journey, she couldn't help but reflect on the sorcerer's riddles. They had tested her mind and spirit, reminding her that true strength lay not only in physical prowess, but also in wit and wisdom. The Quill's magic had been a beacon of light in the darkness, but it was her own resolve that had seen her through. The path ahead was treacherous, winding through narrow passages and steep cliffs. Yet Seraphina pressed on, her heart filled with determination. She knew that the heart of the mountain awaited her, and with it, the next step in her quest to restore balance to Eldoria. Seraphina ventured deeper into the mountains, her path lit by the Quill's ethereal glow. The air grew thin and cold, and the towering peaks loomed above her like ancient guardians. Despite the challenging terrain, she felt a sense of purpose and resolve, driven by the quill's magic and the knowledge that the heart of the mountain held the key to her quest. As she climbed higher, the landscape became more treacherous. Narrow paths clung to the mountainside, and jagged rocks jutted out, threatening to impede her progress. Seraphina's determination never wavered, each step fueled by the vision of a balanced and restored Eldoria. After hours of arduous climbing, she reached a plateau. In the center stood a massive stone doorway, carved with intricate runes and symbols of ancient magic. The door was flanked by two colossal statues of winged guardians, their expressions stern and watchful. Seraphina approached with reverence, feeling the weight of history and destiny pressing down on her. The quill pulsed in her hand, its magic guiding her to the center of the doorway. She placed her hand on the cool stone, and the runes began to glow with a soft golden light. The door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit passageway that led into the heart of the mountain. Seraphina stepped inside, the air growing warmer and more humid. The passageway twisted and turned, descending deeper into the earth. The walls were adorned with ancient carvings that told the story of Eldoria's creation, its golden age, and the dark times that had befallen it. After what felt like an eternity, Seraphina entered a vast cavern. In the center stood a massive crystal formation, its facets catching and refracting the light in a dazzling display. The crystal was the heart of the mountain, pulsating with an inner glow that illuminated the cavern. Surrounding it were smaller crystals, their light weaving a mesmerizing tapestry of color and shadow. Seraphina approached the heart of the mountain, feeling its power resonating through her very being. The quill pulsed in harmony with the crystal, their energies intertwining. She reached out and touched the crystal's smooth surface, and a vision filled her mind. She saw Eldoria as it once was, a land of beauty and harmony, where magic flowed freely and all creatures lived in peace. But she also saw the dark times that had come, the balance disrupted by greed and corruption. The vision showed her the path to restoring that balance, a path that required courage, wisdom, and compassion. As the vision faded, Seraphina knew what she had to do. The heart of the mountain held the power to restore balance to Eldoria, but it required a catalyst, something pure and strong, a symbol of hope and renewal. She reached into her satchel and took out the crystal shard she had received from the enchanted mirror. Holding the shard, she felt its warmth and energy. With a deep breath, she placed the shard into a small indentation in the heart of the mountain. The cavern filled with a brilliant light, and the crystal began to hum with a powerful resonance. The light and sound grew in intensity, enveloping Seraphina in a cocoon of magic. When the light finally subsided, Seraphina found herself standing in a transformed cavern. The heart of the mountain now pulsed with a steady, calming rhythm, its light filling the cavern with a sense of peace and harmony. She knew that the balance had been restored, and that Eldoria was on the path to healing. With a heart full of hope and gratitude, Seraphina made her way back to the surface. The journey was arduous, but the Quill's magic guided her steps, ensuring her safe passage. As she emerged from the mountain, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the land. She felt a deep sense of accomplishment and purpose. The heart of the mountain had given her the strength and clarity she needed to face the final challenges of her quest. With the Quill's magic and her own inner resolve, she was ready to confront whatever lay ahead. Seraphina descended the mountain with the setting sun at her back, its golden rays illuminating her path. The Quill's magic had guided her through trials and discoveries, each step bringing her closer to her ultimate goal. She felt a sense of readiness as she approached the final test that awaited her. According to Alaric's map, the final test lay in the Valley of Shadows, a place where light and darkness intertwined in a perpetual dance. It was said that only those who could navigate the delicate balance between the two could pass the test and unlock the true power of the golden feather Quill. The journey to the valley was long and filled with challenges. Seraphina crossed ancient forests and vast plains, her resolve unwavering. The Quill's gentle guidance never faltered, its magic a constant source of strength and direction. As she entered the Valley of Shadows, a profound stillness enveloped her. The valley was a place of eerie beauty, where light and dark wove together in a delicate tapestry. Shadows moved and shifted, creating an ever-changing landscape that tested her perception and intuition. In the center of the valley stood a grand stone archway, inscribed with ancient runes. As Seraphina approached, the runes began to glow, casting a soft light that dispelled the surrounding shadows. She stepped through the archway, feeling the weight of history and destiny upon her shoulders. Beyond the archway lay a large circular arena. The ground was covered in fine sand, and the air was filled with a palpable sense of anticipation. At the center of the arena stood a figure cloaked in shadows, their form shifting and changing like the darkness itself. "Welcome, Princess Seraphina," the figure intoned, their voice echoing with a haunting melody. "I am the Guardian of Shadows, and you have come to face your final test." Seraphina stood tall, her eyes meeting the Guardian's with determination. "I am ready. What must I do?" The Guardian raised a hand, and the arena was suddenly filled with illusions. Figures from Seraphina's past, moments of doubt and fear, and visions of a future fraught with challenges. "To pass this test, You must confront your deepest fears and find the light within the darkness. Only then will you unlock the true power of the quill. Seraphina took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenge. The illusions swirled around her, each one a reminder of her fears and uncertainties. She saw herself as a child, frightened and alone. She saw moments of hesitation during her journey, times when she had doubted her own strength. She saw a future where the balance of Eldoria was not restored, where darkness prevailed. But amidst the swirling shadows, Seraphina also saw glimmers of light. She saw the villages she had helped, the lives she had touched, and the wisdom she had gained. She remembered the words of the talking forest, the strength of the heart of the mountain, and the clarity from the enchanted mirror. Drawing upon these memories, Seraphina began to dispel the illusions. She faced each fear with courage, acknowledging its presence, but refusing to let it control her. She found the light within the darkness, allowing it to guide her actions and decisions. As she confronted the final illusion, the arena was filled with a brilliant light. The shadows melted away, leaving only the guardian standing before her. The figure's form solidified, revealing a wise and benevolent face. "You have done well, Seraphina," the guardian said, their voice filled with respect. "You have shown courage, wisdom, and compassion. You have proven yourself worthy of the quill's true power." The guardian stepped aside, revealing a pedestal with a glowing crystal orb. Seraphina approached it, feeling the quill's magic resonate with the orb's light. As she touched the orb, a surge of energy filled her, unlocking the full potential of the quill. The quill's glow intensified, its magic now fully awakened. Seraphina felt a deep connection to Eldoria, a bond that transcended time and space. She knew that she had the power to restore balance and bring harmony to the land. With a heart full of hope and determination, Seraphina left the Valley of Shadows, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The final test had shown her the strength within herself, and she was prepared to lead Eldoria into a new era of peace and prosperity. The journey back to her kingdom was marked by a profound sense of accomplishment and peace. The golden feather quill, now fully empowered, rested in Seraphina's satchel, its magic a constant soothing presence. The landscapes she had traversed before now seemed to welcome her, each step forward accompanied by a gentle breeze or the song of birds. As she neared her kingdom, Seraphina reflected on the trials and triumphs of her journey. She had faced her fears, unlocked ancient secrets, and discovered the true power of the quill. Each encounter had strengthened her resolve and deepened her understanding of what it meant to lead with wisdom and compassion. The castle came into view, its familiar towers and banners waving in the wind. The sight filled Seraphina with a sense of warmth and belonging. She was home, but she returned as a changed person, her experiences shaping her into the leader she was destined to become. As she entered the castle gates, the guards and servants greeted her with expressions of joy and relief. News of her return spread quickly, and soon the entire castle was abuzz with excitement. Seraphina's parents, King Alden and Queen Ilara, rushed to embrace their daughter, their faces glowing with pride and happiness. "My dear Seraphina," King Alden said, his voice filled with emotion, "we have missed you dearly. Your journey has been long and arduous, but you have returned victorious." Queen Ilara nodded, tears of joy in her eyes. "We are so proud of you, my darling. You have brought hope and light back to our kingdom." Seraphina smiled, feeling the love and support of her family. "Thank you, Mother and Father. I could not have done it without the wisdom and guidance of those I met along the way. The quill's magic has shown me the path, but it is the strength within all of us that will restore balance to Eldoria." With her parents by her side, Seraphina addressed the court and the people of the kingdom. She shared the stories of her journey, the enchanted forest, the village of forgotten dreams, the heart of the mountain, and the final test in the valley of shadows. Each tale inspired awe and admiration, and the people felt a renewed sense of hope and unity. The golden feather quill had proven to be a powerful tool, but Seraphina knew that its true power lay in the hands of those who believed in its magic. She invited the villagers, the court, and the people of the kingdom to share their dreams and stories, to contribute to the restoration of balance in Eldoria. As the days turned into weeks, Seraphina worked tirelessly to implement the lessons she had learned. She established new schools and libraries, where the villagers could explore their creativity and share their knowledge. She fostered alliances with neighboring kingdoms, promoting peace and cooperation. The golden feather quill became a symbol of hope and inspiration, its magic a reminder that the power to shape the future lay within each person's heart. Seraphina's leadership brought about a new era of prosperity and harmony, the kingdom flourishing under her wise and compassionate rule. The bond between Seraphina and the quill deepened, its magic guiding her decisions and actions. The kingdom thrived, and the people flourished, their dreams and stories weaving a rich tapestry of unity and progress. As the sun set over the kingdom, casting a golden glow over the land, Seraphina stood on the castle balcony, the quill in her hand. She gazed out at the vibrant, thriving kingdom, her heart filled with gratitude and hope. The journey had been long and challenging, but it had led her to a place of wisdom and strength. With the quill's magic and the support of her people, Seraphina knew that the future of Eldoria was bright and boundless. Years passed, and Seraphina's kingdom continued to flourish under her wise and compassionate rule. The golden feather quill became a treasured heirloom, its magic a constant source of inspiration and guidance. Stories of Seraphina's adventures and the Quill's power were passed down through generations, becoming the foundation of Eldoria's rich cultural heritage. As Queen Seraphina, she dedicated herself to nurturing the dreams and talents of her people. She established academies of learning and art, where young minds could explore their creativity and unlock their potential. The kingdom became a beacon of knowledge and innovation, attracting scholars, artists, and adventurers from far and wide. The golden feather quill was kept in a place of honor in the royal library, its presence a reminder of the magic that had shaped the kingdom's destiny. But it was more than just a relic. It was a symbol of the belief that stories and dreams had the power to transform the world. Seraphina often visited the library, using the quill to write new tales of hope and adventure. She shared these stories with her people, each one a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. The quill's magic continued to weave its enchantment, bringing her stories to life and inspiring all who heard them. As the years went by, Seraphina's legacy grew. She became known as the Storyteller Queen, her reign marked by peace, prosperity, and a deep sense of community. The kingdom of Eldoria thrived, its people united by a shared vision of a bright and hopeful future. Seraphina's own family grew, and she took great joy in watching her children and grandchildren embrace the values she held dear. She taught them the importance of courage, wisdom, and compassion, and she encouraged them to find their own paths and follow their dreams. One day, as the sun set over the kingdom, casting a warm golden light over the land, Seraphina gathered her family in the royal library. She took the golden feather quill from its place of honor and handed it to her eldest granddaughter, a bright and curious young girl named Elara, after her great-grandmother. "My dear Elara," Seraphina said, her voice filled with love and pride, "this quill has guided me through many adventures and helped me bring hope and light to our kingdom. Now, it is your turn to carry its legacy forward. Use its magic wisely, and remember that the true power of the quill lies within your heart." Elara accepted the quill with reverence, her eyes shining with excitement. "I will make you proud, grandmother. I will use the quill to write stories that inspire and uplift, just as you have done." Seraphina smiled, her heart swelling with joy. She knew that the future of Eldoria was in good hands, and that the magic of the golden feather quill would continue to shape the destiny of the kingdom for generations to come. As the stars twinkled in the night sky, Seraphina looked out over her kingdom, a sense of peace and fulfillment washing over her. The journey had been long and filled with challenges, but it had also been rich with discovery and growth. She had found her true purpose and had helped her people find theirs. The legacy of the golden feather quill lived on, a testament to the power of dreams and the magic of storytelling. And as long as there were those who believed in its magic, the quill would continue to bring light and hope to Eldoria, weaving tales of wonder and adventure that would inspire generations to come. And so, under the watchful eyes of the storyteller queen, Eldoria thrived, its people united by a shared belief in the power of dreams. The golden feather quill remained a symbol of hope and inspiration, its magic a guiding light in the ever-unfolding story of the kingdom.